In the fading light of a Jurassic afternoon, approximately 150 million years ago, a shadow moves through ancient conifers with deadly purpose. This is Allosaurus, one of the most successful predators ever to walk the earth. A creature so perfectly adapted to killing that it dominated the late Jurassic landscape for nearly 10 million years. Standing roughly 10 feet tall at the hip and stretching up to 32 feet from snout to tail, this magnificent hunter weighs between 2 and 3 tons of pure predatory efficiency, every aspect of its anatomy refined into a living weapon. The massive skull of Allosaurus, nearly 3 feet long, is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. Built with large openings that reduce weight while maintaining strength, this predator can move its head with remarkable speed and precision. The jaws are lined with dozens of serrated blade-like teeth that curve backward, each measuring up to 4 inches long with fine serrations along both edges like nature's steak knives. These teeth aren't designed for crushing bone, but for slicing through flesh and hide, creating devastating wounds that cause massive blood loss. What makes this dental arsenal even more formidable is that Allosaurus constantly replaces its teeth throughout its lifetime, ensuring it always has sharp weapons at its disposal. Recent biomechanical studies reveal that Allosaurus may have hunted using a technique unlike any modern predator. Rather than simply biting and holding on, this predator could open its jaws to an astonishing 90-degree gape and drive its upper jaw downward with tremendous force, delivering slashing, chopping blows that could tear through muscle and crack bone. This hatchet attack allowed Allosaurus to strike prey much larger than itself while minimizing injury risk, attacking rapidly and withdrawing to let blood loss weaken its victim before moving in for the kill. The body of Allosaurus speaks to an animal built for active hunting. Its long, powerful hind legs are constructed like a sprinter's with strong thigh muscles and lengthy shin bones, suggesting this predator could reach speeds approaching 25 miles per hour in short bursts, more than fast enough to run down many herbivores. The 3-toed feet end in sharp, curved claws that provide excellent traction on varied terrain, allowing sharp turns and stability even when moving at speed across riverbanks and floodplains where prey congregated. Unlike the tiny arms of Tyrannosaurus rex, the forelimbs of Allosaurus are proportionally longer and genuinely useful weapons. Each muscular arm ends in a 3-fingered hand tipped with wickedly curved claws, measuring up to 6 inches long, capable of grasping and tearing with considerable force. These arms could hook into struggling prey, pulling victims closer, or preventing escape while the jaws delivered devastating bites. The long, heavy tail acts as a dynamic stabilizer during movement, shifting constantly to maintain balance and allowing the agile movements necessary for successful hunting. The sensory capabilities of Allosaurus reveal an animal that relied on keen senses to locate prey. Large eye sockets housed forward-facing eyes that provided depth perception, crucial for judging distance during attacks. Brain scans of fossil skulls show well-developed optic lobes, confirming that vision was a primary sense. Equally important was the sense of smell, with large olfactory bulbs allowing Allosaurus to detect prey from considerable distances and track wounded animals by following blood trails across the landscape. Allosaurus inhabited the Morrison Formation ecosystem, a realm of semi-arid floodplains interspersed with seasonal rivers and scattered conifer forests across what is now the western United States. This landscape supported one of the most spectacular assemblages of dinosaurs ever to coexist. Towering sauropods like Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, and Apatosaurus dominated as herbivores, their immense size making them both abundant food sources and formidable challenges. Smaller prey like the plated Stegosaurus, with its distinctive backplates and spiked tail, provided alternative targets, though their defensive weaponry demanded careful strategy. Remarkably, Allosaurus was the most common large carnivore of its time by a substantial margin, with fossil evidence suggesting these predators were unusually abundant. This raises intriguing questions about behavior, as few ecosystems can support large numbers of solitary apex predators. The answer may lie in evidence suggesting Allosaurus engaged in social behavior, possibly hunting in loose groups that allowed them to tackle prey far larger than any individual could manage alone. At the Cleveland Lloyd Dinosaur Quarry in Utah, paleontologists have discovered remains of at least 46 individual Allosaurus preserved together, which some researchers interpret as evidence of cooperative hunting. The idea of pack-hunting Allosaurus makes sense when considering the enormous sauropods they coexisted with, animals weighing 30 to 50 tons that would have been nearly invulnerable to a solitary predator. A group of Allosaurus working in coordination, attacking from multiple angles and inflicting numerous bleeding wounds, could feasibly weaken and eventually kill even the largest herbivores. The hatchet bite technique would have been particularly effective, allowing each attacker to deliver slashing wounds and withdraw before massive prey could retaliate. However, not all prey required such elaborate tactics. Juvenile sauropods before they reached enormous adult size would have been particularly vulnerable, as would smaller dinosaurs like Camptosaurus and Dryosaurus, agile bipedal herbivores that browsed on low vegetation. Evidence from fossilized bite marks shows that Allosaurus regularly engaged in violent confrontations, sustaining injuries that healed over time, testament to the dangerous lifestyle of a prehistoric apex predator. Juvenile Allosaurus faced a world filled with danger, vulnerable to other predators, and even cannibalistic adults of their own species. Those that survived would have grown rapidly, young animals having relatively longer legs and lighter builds suited for chasing small, fast prey, while adults developed heavy skulls and powerful necks necessary for bringing down dangerous game. As evening settles over the Jurassic landscape, we see Allosaurus not as a mindless monster, but as a superbly adapted animal perfectly suited to its ecological role. Every feature represents millions of years of natural selection, refining a hunting machine capable of dominating one of the most competitive environments in Earth's history. Allosaurus thrived for millions of years, spreading across vast geographical ranges with remarkable success. This was a true apex predator, whose legacy is written in stone across the American West, forever preserved as one of the great success stories in the magnificent history of predatory dinosaurs.